We are very aware of, many of us are actually feeling this sense of spaciousness and expansion. We're feeling more light in our being. I had that incredibly vivid, pin-sharp dream about seeing myself as the light body and just levitating. I mean, I'll never forget it. It was extraordinary. So many of us energetically, spiritually, are sensing this lightness, this shift towards multidimensionality, this time slippage. Remember, Saturn is in Pisces, and I'll put the video of Saturn in Pisces below, because months ago when I did that, I was talking about one of the potential manifestations was a 3D reality, Saturn, linear time, Saturn, and gravity, Saturn, being dissolved by the fact that it's in Pisces. Pisces dissolves. So as consciousness expands, gravity dissolves. That's just a kind of seesaw, it's a counterpoint. And when gravity dissolves, we become more light body. But it also means that anti-gravity increases too. And so we are in a process which we can feel, as I say, many of us energetically, spiritually, in our dreams, that we are going beyond time and space. We're going beyond the definition of our 3D world in which we've lived for all of our lives. And it's very clear, Saturn in Pisces, as part of this picture, that the old systems, the old world is collapsing. I mean, that's a huge message of Pluto in the last few degrees of Capricorn. I've talked about that to death over the last couple of years. Saturn in Pisces is part of that picture too. But what is exciting is I get very excited when the science starts to confirm the spirituality. So it isn't just, woo-woo, it's actually grounded in physics. And there is a brilliant physicist, genius physicist, who many of you I know follow and will have heard of, called Nassim Haramein. I'll put his name below. And just last month, on the 20th of September, he published his new unified theory of physics, because the world of physics has been having a bit of a nervous breakdown over recent years because they couldn't make the physics of the big world match with the physics of the quantum world. There was just a kind of big gap in the middle. Well, what Nassim has done is bring that together in a unified theory. And a huge part of that is he has spent, I think, 30 years putting together, I think they're 40 pages of equations, which are pretty dazzling. But he talks a lot in this paper about free energy and about anti-gravity travel, anti-gravity transportation, which is incredibly exciting. And he says it will change everything in our world. Now, I always knew this was going to be a paradigm shifting time. And the reason I felt that, and I think I've certainly said it in many videos, and I said it in a live event last September with Sue Stone in Bournemouth. I've also said it, I think, in the Pluto and Aquarius video, that I expected this to be paradigm shifting in terms of our understanding of the cosmos, the galaxies. Our whole paradigm is going to shift. One of the reasons I was saying that was one of the last times Pluto was in Aquarius was in 1543, when Copernicus published his heliocentric theory, that the Earth went round the sun and not the other way around. And that was just paradigm shattering for the average bloke on the street. Well, equally, I think once Nassim's unified theory of physics becomes more exposed and better known in the world, we are going to, this is another Copernicus moment potentially, because he is talking about this paper as really understanding through his equations the physics of creation, the physics of interconnectedness of all things. And that was something I was writing about 10 years ago in my first book. There's this real paradigm shift. He's calling it an owner's manual for the universe, which I love, an owner's manual for the universe. But he really is saying that this is, you know, one living consciousness. And for me, it is one living and loving consciousness that we all are all partaking of. And so his paper, I think, it's just so interesting that it's coming out at this time when we are really feeling that we are walking in two worlds. And, you know, people around us may be walking in one world and we're walking in another. And more we are establishing a higher timeline of a very loving new earth. And I really would like to, you know, end with a quote, which I love, absolutely love. The author of this quote, I think I'm going to butcher their name. I think it's a man, Ilya Prigogine. I think he was a physicist, but I'll put his name below because I've almost certainly butchered it because I've just seen the spelling and not the pronunciation. But what he said was, when a complex system is far from equilibrium, which is what we've got at the moment, because the surges of high frequency light coming in are causing great turbulence in this energy field. They're churning up the old energy. So we've got this tremendous churn. So when a complex system is far from equilibrium, small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos have the capacity to shift the entire system to a higher order. I'm going to say that again because it's a great quote. When a complex system is far from equilibrium, small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos have the capacity to shift the entire system to a higher order. If you're listening to this video, we are establishing those small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos. If you listening to this video has helped your coherence. If you're joining in with me 7 o'clock UK time on a Sunday evening, just for 15 minutes to send a loving intention and vision to help to create new earth and to accelerate it, that is part of creating small islands of coherence. People, that isn't an original idea, of course. People are doing it all over the world with their groups, but all of it is adding to this tsunami of love, this momentum of coherence, because coherence means love. It means coherent, it means gratitude, it means compassion, it means peace. Those positive emotions are, by definition, coherent. So that's what we are doing right now. You are doing in watching this video, and I hope joining me and many others across the world on a Sunday evening UK time, or and remember the known Zoom links, you're just joining energetically. There are many other meditations you can join as well, but our focus is creation. Our focus is creation. And I'm very excited because Nassim Haramein has given us a physics grounding with many equations of how that is rooted in science to give us a whole new view of, I think, galactic reality, not just Earth reality, but galactic and cosmic reality.